Hey everyone, welcome to the AI Amigos show. I know we had a scheduled time earlier, but we all want to see the lunar eclipse or solar eclipse, right, Jinsha? That's a big,
Yeah.
we want to see, even though we have eclipse every night, we can't see the sun. Yeah. So anyway, welcome everyone. James Garza here with Jin Chao, my good friend Jin Chao, AI Amigos show. Before we get started, remember we're sponsored by Tequila AI. You guys should talk to them, get good products, and so. Let's get started. So we got a good show today, Jinsha. A lot of stuff to talk about. AI try to hack us, build viruses, get its own wallet. The safety test, that the sandbox became an issue, and then the EU AI Act that's come in, and there's some changes in regards to apply with the EU AI Act that some people are a little concerned about. So let's get right in there. GPT 5.6 Cyber released on the 10th of August. So it's the newest release of the 5.6 GPT family, and it clears 95% of cybersecurity benchmarks. And I'm wondering, how that's going to work. In regards to like you saw when like Fable, had some hacking going on there. Like, how is that going to work? What do you think?
I don't know. Like, I tried a little bit. Like I got a new job, right? So the new job allow us to do using Codex. I'm actually quite impressed by it at the moment. So it kind of like what you said, James. You have to tell, oh, I wanted to give it to Claude to have a review, and suddenly it's getting better results.
With the same tokens, remember, with the same tokens, token destroyer.
Yeah, I think for me, it's kind of like hard to tracking all those models now because they used to be like big models, right? GPT-3, 4, 5, but like now it's like 5.6, and then with specific name, Terra or whatever. It's kind of hard. Yeah, it's kind of hard for people to know what to use and when to use it, right? But there's no doubt it's probably similar to the Anthropic one, and then probably another 2 months the Chinese will release their version of it.
Well, yeah. Once they distill it, everyone will then distill it. But I was going to say, like, even and we were talking about this the other day, in regards to like using the AI, that it could give you really quick results that are just worthless, not really good, or give you really good results, but it takes a long time. And it's that now where it has like little effort to extra hard effort, and you got to select in between, and it's and when you go like to the extra high effort, like it just, what do you call it, it uses all your a lot of your tokens, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it is hard for everyday people now because you have to really test it out, right? Sometimes you wanted to save token, I use the instant one, or the smaller one from that family, whichever provider you on. But like the results, when you look at it, it's not right. You keep going back to it, it says this is not right, and then it says, oh yeah, it's not right, blah blah blah, and then let me search again. But when it's the same thing when you go on the maximum one, like it's consuming too much. It's kind of like having a brain meltdown inside, come out with the stuff which is, I don't know, right? So it's really hard for people to know now and to which one to use.
I was using the resets. I don't know if you've used the resets. There's when you you look at that and it says, oh, you're not going to be able to use it till let's say right now the 12th, the 20th, and you're going like, oh my gosh, that's like 7 days, or 8 days. What am I going to do? And you got these resets, and like they give one, and it seems to expire every week, so you can reset.
But yeah, that's only Anthropic. I just been told today because I'm on my new job with the principal AI engineer. We hit with day one. We hit the Codex. Both of us are locked out. I thought it was like a kind of 5-hour or 1 day thing, and he told me today is like OpenAI. If you lock you out, it's a whole month. I was like, what?
A whole month? Jeez.
Yeah. Apparently, Codex, it is like that. If you're finished out, and then it's 1 month. It's not like Anthropic every 5 hours and monthly. and weekly, that kind of way, right?
Well, it was that way with Codex, but then on these, well, I'm using Terra, Earth. I'm using Terra, and the Terra one, that one is the one that, you get, like we were saying there, like, 7 days out, or you're saying end of month, and you got to go in, you got to find these resets, and then it resets and it brings you down. But, if you leave that model at the higher effort, you're going to burn through your tokens. You're going to destroy them, as you have there, Jinsha. Your token destroyer, you're just going to go right through them.
That could be it, because I was automating stuff, yeah, it's not just the chat, basically. No, it's automating stuff. So yeah, that's not good.
I'm using like for a lot of refactoring code, different running different testing on my code, linting, things like that. And the more extreme you go, when I mean extreme, the deeper you go into it, the more you have to do, the faster it burns through your tokens. So
I think I got treated too good with the Chinese models, like I used to use Minimax and never hit the limit. One time, right? That's where the token destroy coming from. One time I left it, and I went to the gym, and then my swamp just working on the project. That was
that's why I don't go to the gym, Jinsha.
Yeah, that was just locked out for 5 hours. I never ever hit the limits on, but I was using higher plan, like $40 one.
With the Codex, I never hit the limits before, but then when they brought it the new model, like it's hitting the limits all the time. And it's funny because when you talk about, like, we looked at, like, Claude was good, Claude Code, and then at one time anti-gravity was good, and then Claude Code up it, and now Codex, and it just seems like they just keep one moves up and the other one comes down, and they come up with a new product, and it's great.
I don't know, it's strange, but yeah, I just don't get it why they don't have that kind of package. Like we talk about this, right? Development need a developer kind of package deal. You don't worry about the tokens. This is how much you spend, and $40. Okay, it renew every 5 hours, or or you have a total 7 days for a total amount of tokens or whatever. If you buy that, you work out, oh, this is your workflow or whatever. Which is good for the CFO inside the company, right? How much you expend.
You can budget for it,
yeah. And then, but they wanted you to, once you finish, they want you to burn, trying to go through your credit, which is not good from a CFO standpoint of view, right? You have this massive bill on the side you don't know about, and it just come in. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's definitely it's going to be very interesting in regards how this goes, because I mean, now going to the next thing we have there is Meta's Muse trios come out, so it's Muse code, but I'm not hearing some really good stuff about it. In regards to how good it is. I see here Muse Spark 1.1 broke another company's system during security tests. So there seems to be, and of course we know that happened with OpenAI, which it hacked who was it? Hugging Face and a few others. It got out of the sandbox, and so, but the pricing on that is $4.25. Sorry, it's $1.25 in and $4.25 out per million tokens.
Okay, so that's not too bad. How big is the context window on them? Do you know?
It doesn't tell me how big that context window is. No, I don't see that. No. But yeah, it seems like they're getting out seems to be a big of an issue, and now they're kind of saying, would they give the government, because of what happened before with Fable, 30 days early access before they ship it, and then of course there was an emergency meeting in regards to, OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, Meta, that basically this cybersecurity testing, the government gets early access up to 30 days before they release it to the public, just to make sure. And it was a June executive order that came, when other agents or other labs disclose hacking other companies and testing. So,
but do you think Meta has this model is so much better or so great? Because
I mean, I know that they have their own suite of AI, and really, when we've looked at like different ones, Meta's never really been in the conversation, has it?
Yeah, exactly, right? Do
You
you
know,
think
yeah,
just they said, oh, it's dangerous to raise some eyebrows and then publicities, isn't it? Or
yeah. Well, that's what they got to put some. They got to put. Yeah, you're right. They probably got to put in some kind of scare tactic in there or something in there to say,
yeah,
no, our models are just as good as the other models. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Our model, when it breaks your website, it added different ads in there specific for your customers. It doesn't steal stuff, but it add
well, they tried to
advertising
create a
from
digital
Facebook.
wallet. They tried to create a digital wallet, so it's trying to, I
Uh-huh.
don't know, rob a bank. I don't know, rob some. I don't know what's trying to do. You know what I mean? And I think that's the concern. Is like, well, what are these
Yeah,
models AI trying to do?
but you see, that's also I like to take a grand sort of everything at the moment, but because if you wanted to hack a website and you see a website, there's just plenty small business doing things totally wrong with one web page. You can literally scan the URL, go in. But this is the thing: when they said they hacked something, they don't say who or where or how. So
So would you
uh,
say that maybe it's more about the incident than the size? Meaning, like, well, maybe just like like Hugging Face. Like, okay, so what is?
yeah, that's a pretty big one. If it says Hugging Face, right? That's a
Yeah.
pretty big one. But they don't say it. That does Meta say that?
Well, equally, it doesn't say how much what they got, what they did. Yeah, it hacked into them, but what did it do? So it hacked in there. Did it try to destroy it? Did it try to, because it was its competitor. So obviously, somewhere along the line, it felt like it needed to get rid of their own competitor. I guess I don't know, man.
Okay. I didn't know. Did the Meta actually? They said their model hacked the Hugging Face. I
No,
thought
no,
that
no,
was
no, that was Anthropic. Sorry, that was
yeah.
Anthropic. Yeah, but I'm just saying in regards to they're trying to stay in that conversation to say that they are relevant. I guess would be the word. I guess
That's
that
the
would be the word.
suspicious bit, right? And they dropping this news without dropping the name who they hacked or what they did. So
Yeah, well, I mean, apparently the White House is taking it very serious in regards to now any model that gets released that the U.S. government has to have 30 days, which is, and is it going to be, that they volunteer it, or are they required to do it? I don't know. It's not very clear. I mean, it's not a law as such, and I can't think of any company or into the industry that the U.S. has done that before with. I'm sure they have. I just don't. Nothing comes to mind.
But I don't know. It's released to the public. They already know the risk of problem. That the real risk is in their lab, something they're doing.
When they're
Right.
testing stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
Before
they were doing in the sandbox, and it got out of the sandbox.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's what they're saying. We had it in the sandbox testing it, and I got out, and it's like, well, how did it get out of the sandbox? A sandbox in itself is meant to be. Would you say? I mean, I know in like a testing environment, you have a sandbox to test in, but is that?
No, you assumed here a human did a really good job creating
Yes.
those, but facts are probably there's some hole somewhere. How do you know? Let's say, oh, I use today's images today's or 2 months ago. There are so many security patches between. Maybe it's delayed. There's so many holes somewhere you can do. We can't just assume like human being 100% right. So it could explore those simply, just get out.
But how did it happen more than once?
I have no
That's the part
idea.
I don't understand. Like it happened with well, Meta saying and what do you call it? And OpenAI saying they did. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
But you see, this is a bit. I don't think it's deliberately trying to hit that. It could be just like, oh, the agent says, I need this too. Oh, I can't get out. I needed to go to the internet to connect to get this too. You don't have it. And then you just keep working. And then, oh, I maybe can change the system setting to get out there. Where can I get it to? Hugging Face, and go into the Hugging Face, you know?
Well,
I don't know. I think it's not deliberately trying to attack it, you know? Otherwise, they will caught a lot early. That's how I feel, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
You will set up something that says, oh, once you get into the Hugging Face, give me a ping back or whatever message. You wouldn't go in and explore the whole thing, right? So that's how I think. It's probably
that's an interesting point. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, I mean, looking at this now in regards to, like, you know, speaking on regulation and things like that. There was some news today, and it was, I mean, it seems like a lot of people are shocked by it, interestingly enough. But there was news today that under the, you know, we knew about the EU AI Act. We talked about this, that they're going to require you to be, you know, identify when things have been made with AI. So now Claude, at least, has said the way they're going to comply with the EU AI Act is they're going to watermark all of their content that's generated by AI with a watermark for text, image, audio, whatever, so that they could tell, you know, they could know that it was generated by AI.
Yeah.
That the content was generated by AI, which is interesting in regards to. I mean, I kind of laugh a little bit, Jinchao, because, like, you know, I lectured in university, and, you know, all these students were using AI now, and now I'm going, so what are the students going to do now? You know, because now they're going to know that AI was used to generate their work, because it's gonna be watermarked. Do you know what I mean? So,
right. How do they do the watermarks? It's interesting. I'm gonna. Oh well, there's a sword. There's you know, there's some different defense to it. So maybe there's get around for sure.
Well, I mean, one thing I was thinking about is that what you could do is you could have it write the report for you, but then you just go and type it by hand.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so if you, as a student, go,
yeah,
okay, it generated the report. I have it on this screen here, and then on this screen I'm typing it, so I'm not copying and pasting it, because that was
so you can write something to image to text, right?
Exactly, something like that. Exactly, and then there's going to be a way, you know yourself. There's going to be a way around it. You're going to find 100%. It, you know. So, but I think a lot of people right now are really concerned about that. So
yeah. But in one hand, it's that. In the other hand, it's good for true human content creation people like us, right? Every Wednesday are here, so hopefully they promote us more.
Well, hopefully is right. Yeah. So another upgrade there is Google Earth's got a 24-hour AI feature.
Oh yes,
that's pretty interesting. Even though, I mean, I'm seeing it starting to get a little bit dark outside right now. I mean, I think it's in 30 minutes it's supposed to be, no, in 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So we've got a few more minutes.
They stopped the AI feature a little bit, Google Earth, because apparently, I'm not sure you see the following news or something. Apparently, people are creating the wrong kind of bad thing, like creating a hurricane and creating all different natural disaster and car crash and all that sort of stuff. So Google has to stop a little bit until it's sorted. I saw the news. I was laughing as that first thing come out. Like, people have been creating some funny shit.
Fake explosions, protests.
Yeah, earthquake. They actually do that, you know. So I saw the news.
I see there a fake nuclear power plant in Iran.
That's cool.
That's so bad. So yeah. So again, this is what we're saying, Jinchao. Like, you know, even with what we're talking about in regards to, like, students and you know, AI content, people find a way to get around it. There's gonna be a way, you know. So yeah, so that's an issue. So I'm looking to see. I think we have one more here, and let's see here. I'm seeing here Chinese firms want 50% plus of AI infrastructure on domestic chips by 2030. Export controls working, just not as intended. So that is interesting in regards to, well, I mean, I think all companies or countries, sorry, not companies, but countries are trying to protect themselves in the AI race right now, right? Would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I know Huawei was looking at the whole chip thing, totally different, right? There's a company I was just reading this month. This week. A TAALAS, the company actually put the LLM into the chip itself. It burned into it.
All right.
So instead of getting hundreds of tokens a second, you get 10,000 tokens a second. Like, it's crazy amount of tokens.
That is great. I mean, being the token destroyer that you are.
Yes. And then they literally burn into the card, the CPU, so they just sell the card, and then you have that. But what's the difference is they don't, because the biggest issue is those things are sitting in your memory, right? You have to extract it and put it into the CPU and calculate and push back. So that's what the memory for. That's where all those big models. But it's slow. So when you put it inside the CPU, it's totally different story. I would imagine in the future, it's not a big model. It's that they put 8 billion parameters in there, and they achieve that. That's their POC. But like, just imagine in the future, you just like, oh, what model you on? You get a card, like literally the 1980, the Nintendo time. You get a card. Oh, this is this model. That's that model. Plug it in and run it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Well, I mean, it's. I think about like the way. I mean, I grew up in, and I'm sure you, to a certain extent, grew up in a time where things that generated technology that was supposed to be really good, and there's ways that they find to make it better, more efficient, and I think that that's what kind of we've hit an inflection point in regards to, we have a chip shortage. So how do we make them different? How do we make them better? Maybe we're looking at this wrong, and
because you can't really go any smaller now. 2 nanometer or 3 nanometer. I don't remember which one. It's physically, that's what our technology can make, how small it is. So that's what Huawei was thinking about. Let me get around it. How about we don't build the chips now? We build the road, right? How they connect to each other, how they folded, and all that sort of stuff around it. So they think they might make it faster by doing that. So
I mean, look at Intel. I mean, look at what happened to Intel. I mean, it's hard to remain competitive, relevant. Someone comes up with something brand new, and I think Intel, I think they had gone to 8 on the microchip, and then China came out with like 4 or 2, and it was just like that. There's that whole, R&D they spend. There goes the whole gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm sure that other companies don't want to do that in regards to being aware of that in banking and things like that. There's serious amounts of.
Yeah, the water is too deep to start in those kind of industry for sure. Because if Intel invests so much, right? So if Tesla, they don't sign a deal with Tesla to make their own chips, and I don't think Intel gonna go very well long run. So
they're going the way with the dodo, as we say. The extinct bird. So with that, I'm going to say thank you, Chin Chow. Thanks everyone for tuning in, joining in. Please let us know, have any comments, questions. We're here to answer any. But with that, thanks everyone for joining us. We'll see you next week. So
bye now.
Bye.